It's the Guyana Cup rematch on Sunday, December 31st at the Rising Sun Turf Club. Over $6 million in cash and prizes will be up for grabs. The feature event, a clash for the ages, and will bring together the C-class and lower horses for a purse of $1.2 million. The 2-year-old Guyana-bred horses will be the core feature, with the top thoroughbred horses battling for $350,000. E-class horses will run for a purse of $600,000. The H-class horses will run for a purse of $400,000, in which the J, K, and L horses will all compete for the lucrative prizes. It's the Guyana Cup rematch on All Year's Day at the Rising Sun Turf Club.
Powered by Banks Bear. Come out and have fun in Banks Country.
It's the Guyana Cup rematch on Sunday, December 31st at the Rising Sun Turf Club. Over $6 million in cash and prizes will be up for grabs. The feature event, a clash for the ages, and will bring together the C-class and lower horses for a purse of $1.2 million. The 2-year-old Guyana-bred horses will be the core feature, with the top thoroughbred horses battling for $350,000. E-class horses will run for a purse of $600,000. The H-class horses will run for a purse of $400,000, in which the J, K, and L horses will all compete for the lucrative prizes. It's the Guyana Cup rematch on All Year's Day at the Rising Sun Turf Club.
Powered by Banks Bear. Come out and have fun in Banks Country.
Good afternoon to one and all. Thanks once again for the privilege of welcoming me into your homes as we talk horse racing, another edition of Inside the Track. Today's edition we'll be looking at, again, ways how we can improve the sport of kings. The Horse Racing Committee have some ideas. We want to put forward those ideas to you and hope that we can have a collaborative approach moving forward. Last Sunday at the Sky Plus racetrack, there was a nice race meeting there. But in the midst of those things, you had a lot of confusion and so on. We were there. We talked to some of the horse racing fans and so on, how we can improve the sport. And this is a good forum for you to really express yourself and let's get feedback how we can improve. Because this racing committee is not usurping the powers of the Guyana Horse Racing Committee in no way, the Guyana Horse Racing Authority in no way. But they're just trying to put systems in place and hope that other track owners can follow suit and help to push the sport. For instance, incentives for stud owners. That is one of the major things right now. And to avoid conflict and so on, they're also looking at microchipping of 2-year-old horses. That is moving in a positive direction. And they need all hands on deck to really propel this thing to the other level. One of the major issues I've observed at the track is about the classification of horses. People still in this day and age trying to cheat the system. That is just from my observation. That is one of the things that you really, really need to curb, and proper record keeping is one of the mottos of this, this horse racing committee who is trying to help to live the sport. You want to get legislation to iron out all the little glitches in the local fraternity. But get legislation is one thing, but if you cannot put your house in order at this stage, how can legislation help? So it all starts with you taking ownership, different horse owners and clubs and track owners and everybody start taking on their responsibilities. I'm here to talk racing. I'm here to get your feedback. I'll be opening up the lines shortly to take your calls. But horse racing is really it. And we have 2 races before the end of the year. That's at Kennard Memorial Turf Club on Boxing Day. That's going to be a nice race meet there. And then you have the Guyana Cup rematch on December 31st at the Rising Sun Turf Club. So make sure you pack, prepare, get yourself ready. It's going to be a spectacle. We're going to take you back to a race in 2014 Guyana Cup rematch, where you had the likes of Corfu Tower, Tree Apple, Got to Go, Princess She's Not, California Strike, CP Got Even. It was a classic. And I want to take you back there so that you can get an understanding what Guyana Cup rematch would be like. It's the best of the best on show. So this is a race we started with this week. And also we want to tell you that we have some highlights from the Nanpasat Spring Classic. That feature race with Thoroughbred, we also have that to show to you. So stay with us. We're going to be back in a bit.
Number 1, a Got to Go Serious Rise 113 pounds. Number 2, a Princess She's Not a Razak Rise 113 pounds. Number 4, California Strike, a Blake's Rise 121 pounds. Number 5, Triaca, a Richmond Rise 118 pounds. Number 7, Curfew Tower, J. Sukun Rise 116 pounds. And number 8, CP Got Even, and a Patrick Rise 121 pounds. So those are the weights of the jockeys so far. So yes, it's here, and straight the run seems to be Got to Go. It's Got to Go, Princess She's Not gains some good runs on the outside too. It's Princess She's Not who picked up the running as they're racing around the first turn here now. It's Princess She's Not and some of the ladies look up Corfu Tower. It's Princess She's Not, Corfu Tower picked up the running from Princess She's Not. It's Corfu Tower with the head over Princess She's Not, and then we have Got to Go in the number 3 spot. And now jockey myself making some good running at the number 4 spot. It's Corfu Tower who gone at the forefront there now. A Princess She's Not. It's Princess She's Not still holding the lead from Corfu Tower. Princess She's Not, Corfu Tower. They race past the four pole there now. It's still Princess She's Not, Corfu Tower. Princess She's Not, Corfu Tower. Again going into the forefront. It's Corfu Tower now again with the left lead over Princess She's Not. Corfu Tower leading with number 2 now. Corfu Tower seems to be coming great guns as they're running around the turn here now. It's Corfu Tower coming away from Princess She's Not. Corfu Tower and Princess She's Not. Corfu Tower seems to be coming home this afternoon. A bowler gonna have to go. It's Corfu Tower coming from Princess She's Not. Somebody making a ball run there too. It's got to go. But Corfu Tower still holding the lead. Corfu Tower still coming here with 100 meters to go. Corfu Tower, Triaca with a good run on the outside too. Corfu Tower from Triaca. Corfu Tower winning away from Triaca. Corfu Tower wins from Triaca. And then we have City Got Even in the number 3 spot. Randy Roja. A tremendous race when many thought that the sprinters, known sprinters will have dominating there. One expect that Got to Go would have been up in front there running. Princess She's Not, of course, was running well up in front there, was running under severe pressure. Corfu Tower from the Elcock stable was putting up the pace there. She put the Princess She's Not under tremendous pressure when they were running around the top turn there. There was Corfu Tower, picked up the running from them, and she was unbeatable coming down to the pole. As they raced past the pole here, Triaca was coming with a good run from behind, but wasn't good enough. Tower to a good win here, winning from horse number 5, Triaca, in 3rd position with the horse number.
Yeah, back in time, 2014. Corfu Tower from Tree Apple, CP Got Even, Princess She's Not. That was summer race at the Port Monroe Turf Club. Remember, you tuned into our live program Inside the Track, presented by the Thoroughbred Racing Committee. And we've been opening up our lines. We want to get feedback from you as to ways how we can improve the sport of kings. What are some of the shortcomings? You small horse owners, we want to hear your feedback. We want to document everything and then move in a different direction to implement certain things. There was some concerns by various stakeholders at the Sky Plus race meet on Sunday. Persons that I spoke with, they talk about the need for more more adherence of the rules. For instance, you would have realized that some of the key players in the horse racing fraternity, they're not managing the timing, the saddling process. Some always late, and I mean, there are experienced persons to know that the timing is important. We spoke about it last week. The timing is important. Your discipline is also important. Persons tend to carry on when, for instance, there's a little discrepancy in the results. Before they would allow the judges to communicate and sort things out, people on a high horse and everything. We don't really need that. You got encroaching on the track and all kind of thing. Big racing, big event, persons still find themselves on the track despite you put security arrangements in place. Now you tell me, if all of us want to see race improve and go to another level, should we condone these things? I want to get your feedback. The number at the bottom right of your screen, 337-1970, 337-1970. But I will start taking your calls in a short while from now. I want to play this race for you from last Sunday's race meet. It was a photo finish. A photo finish classic between Royal Paymaster, Handsome Boy, Perfect Perfection, Country Boy, Touchdown. This was a race. This was a sprint classic. I want to give you that, and when I come back, the lines will be opening up and we will take your calls on Inside the Track. Stay with us.
Racing jockeys, number 1, Handsome Boy for Get Right There, 119 pounds. Number 2, Perfect Perfection, White Japan, 118. Number 3, Royal Progressive, Julius Rice, 118. Number 7, Country Girl, Chandler Rice, 118. Number 8, Country Boy, Nascimento Rider, 119. Number 9, that's Transpire, Ronald Rice, 118. Number 10, Royal Paymaster, Agile Rider, 118. And number 12, please take note, number 12 should lottery Touchdown with 0, 118 pounds. And this all should continue other than Handsome Boy picked up the run in the event. Somebody get to the run outside, 2 should be touchdown, and the rider outside the ball is 0. And at the center should be no other than Agile Rider, Royal Paymaster, the special rider, just across the area, follow with the racing. And underneath the first one, that is center the round, with no other than the Royal Paymaster. And then we have 2
It's the Guyana Cup rematch on Sunday, December 31st at the Rising Sun Turf Club. Over $6 million in cash and prizes will be up for grabs. The feature event, a clash for the ages, and will bring together the C-class and lower horses for a purse of $1.2 million. The 2-year-old Guyana-bred horses will be the co-feature, with the top thoroughbred horses battling for $350,000. E-class horses will run for a purse of $600,000. The H-class horses will run for a purse of $400,000, in which the JK and L horses will all compete for the lucrative prizes. It's the Guyana Cup rematch on All Year's Day at the Rising Sun Turf Club.
Powered by Banks Bear. Come out and have fun in Banks Country.
Yeah, you're with us inside the track. That race was really a classic at the non-Poseidon Sky Plus track. Caller, good afternoon, you live.
Hi, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. This sounds like Mr. Mohammed.
How are you doing?
Good. All right, Mr. Mohammed, we know you have a passion for the development of horse racing in Guyana. Talk us through about some of your plans to develop this sport.
Some of the plans that I have to develop the sport that I love, that I would, it's to tell you all the plan. I'll be talking all night.
Okay.
So it's just to see that our sport of kings go forward, and we just want to race international level, and we want to travel to the Caribbean and race, and we want the Caribbean to come here and race. So we have a lot of standards to put into place.
Where do we start from? Where do we start from? What, in your opinion, how can we move forward? How can we make the first step? What we need to do to make the first step?
Well, I've put certain system requirements into place that I would request horse owners to do certain things like the microchipping and so on. And that's the way I see it as going forward, to be able to track your horses, to know how much horses you have, so we don't have cheating and stuff like that going on. A fair run for everyone.
So you have some guidelines?
Yes, some guidelines.
And are you hoping that other clubs around the other racetrack around the country can embrace what you're doing? Because I know that support will be critical.
Yes, I really do hope I get the support, because it's not a benefit for me, it's a benefit for everyone. And unless we can pull our act together and get everything straight and we're going in the right line, then everyone's talking about the legislation. The government would not look into our sport unless we are on the right track. We're not going to put it on the right track.
Since you're speaking on the right track, there are talks that you're trying basically to hijack the power of the racing authority. Do you see that as a reasonable accusation made by some, or I want you to clear that up for me, that you're just trying to work hand in hand with the racing authority?
Yes, that's exactly what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to work along with the racing authority to get the system on a level play field so everyone could have a fair game. I'm not trying to overstep anyone. Anyone that's willing to help, anyone that's willing to join the committee, I'm all open-handed for anyone that's willing to come and go in the right direction with me.
I can't allow you to leave without me asking you about the Guyana Cup rematch on Old Year's Day. Tell me a bit about that classic plan there for the Rising Sun Turf Club.
Well, that's a race everyone's just sitting back waiting for. It's on the 31st at Rising Sun. The feature event is, I don't have everything on top of my head, but it's the B class and lower for $1.2 million first prize. We have the F class race, we have 2 H class race, we have 2 K class race, and we have 2 L class race.
Wow.
We're opening in...
Those races have small owners, small horses and so on.
Yes, so get to see our...
Guyana bred horses and so on.
Racing industry are the smaller classes. We have to basically open arms to them to allow them to spread their wings.
And you said moving forward into 2018, you want to be a little more firm as you try to pilot racing in Guyana. Tell us directly now, firm in what way you and the committee plan to be?
Well, the start that we want to get off with in 2018, we have, I think, about 12 registered and microchipped 2-year-olds for next year.
Yeah.
We want to start, everyone have a fair chance to start. They know who's going to be their competition for next year. And we have a lot of new horses coming from all around the Caribbean to compete next year. We're looking at importing over 40 horses, not for myself, but for everyone to be able to compete and have a fun time.
Okay, Mr. Junior, anything else you want to add before you leave?
I just hope everyone who's listening, they give me their support and help me to move the sport of kings to another level in Guyana, because we've been on one level for the past 20 years.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
Have a good one. Yeah, you heard there from Mr. Junior Mohammed. He's one of the persons behind the horse racing committee. Yeah, the number to call is 337-1970. It's at the bottom right of your screen. We're talking horse racing. We're looking at ways and means how we can develop the sport. And inside the track is a weekly program which will be aired right on this channel. 337-1970. Give me a call. Tell me your views. How can we improve the sport of kings? You heard from Mr. Mohammed talking about microchipping of horses. We're talking about 2018 going forward, emphasis on small horses, creating races for these small Guyana-bred horses and all these things. That is good for the sport. Stud, an incentive for stud, that's another plus. Last week when we started our program, you heard from Mr. Nampasol, and you know, he got into the thick of racing a little over a year. And it's amazing to see the level he has taken racing. And as I said earlier, we need all the support, we need everybody to come together, speak with one voice, come together. So as we move from one level to the level of legislation, and so our houses will be in order, and you know, then we can say, well, all right, government, authorities, we're ready. But the first step starts with us, and we need to work collaboratively to see our dreams, our desire for the development of horse racing realized. We went trackside at the Natpason race course last Sunday, and we spoke to some senior person in the racing authority. It's like an open mic session. We gave persons the opportunity to speak how they would want to see horse racing progress in Guyana. And we're going to play that for you right now. Then when we come back, we open up the lines to take more of your calls on Inside the Track, our second edition.
All the clubs will have to cooperate and would have to obey the classification of horses that is being prepared by a committee of classifiers. Because unless we have a common people, unless the clubs cooperate or obey the classification, it would mean you're going to have confusion. A horse may run in one class at Nampasad go and will go to another track and probably run in a higher lower class. So the clubs will have to cooperate and follow the classification list. We've been trying for years to get this thing organized, but every club seems to be doing their own thing. But we have to realize now that unless we get together, this racing will continue to be at a low standard. Today we have had a very good meeting and a good turnout, but if you notice, most of the horses are from the lower classes. It's good for the owners of those horses, but we have to start to introduce breeding in this country so that we can have better quality of horses that they can go and race in classes higher than J. And that means you have to have a proper stud system where horses, when they are tied or when they are served, you have a register to know that the date when the horse was served and when the horse gave birth. And when the horse gave birth, the owners ought to get in touch with the registration officer and register those horses and place a mark on that horses so that you don't change the name of the horses subsequently.
Well, if you look at horse racing, there's a stagnation in the rules and regulation that governs racing. Every time they have racing, there's a confusion. We are trying to look at an initiative to try to reduce conflict on race day. Reduce the arguments, which class the horse should be, what age the horse is. Reduce all of that conflict. The purpose of this race, these races here, are to have all of the conflict decrease, because if you don't follow the rules and regulation that will be stipulated before, you cannot enter into the race. There are a certain set of rules, they have to be followed. And these rules are not new rules, people. These rules were existing, but no one is following them. We want people to follow rules. Let racing be an organized sport. Let it be back to the sports of kings. And listen, we're not talking about kings as in the rich and famous. We're talking about kings. You, the local persons, the middle class, poor people, we're the kings of this country. And we're talking about bringing racing to you.
To be honest, the way forward, I see the breeding step up a bit. There's a lot of locally bred horses racing at the present day. But the thing is that we have to stick with the rules, and all the racetracks have to stay together. And we have to show the government that we are better organized so that we could have the legislation passed quickly and to manage the sport properly. You know, without legislation, it's very difficult to manage the sport. And we have to work towards it. I see recently, you know, many of the stakeholders are coming together. Many of the tracks, the management of the tracks are coming together to make a special effort once again to have this thing working up and running. There is a racing committee formed to move in the interim to move the race forward, because you know, every time we form this racing authority business, for some reason it fell apart. So this is a special committee, and the Ministry of Agriculture is playing a very important role here. What we are moving towards, you know, the chipping of all the horses, I could tell you for next year, the 2-year-old that will be starting from next year, all of them are already chipped. So we know exactly from now which 2-year-old will start next year. We are moving to have all the locally bred horses chipped, and then we'll move even to the brood mares. So we will avoid this, you know, the alleged cheating that people are claiming that, you know, you're racing old horses in a special category of races. So I think all in all, we're moving all the time, but I know our owners and trainers get frustrated sometimes in the pace in which we are moving, but I think we are making the step towards that goal.
Class horses them should run by themselves, and the higher class them, like in terms of breeding wise, should go in a different category, so that everybody can get a chance in winning race. You don't know.
Yes, I like to say something. The 2-year horse them should never go in the L class race. Them supposed to run in 2-year race, and again with the L class them flush 2-year, flush 3-year in the L class race. That can't be fair.
To commence with, we have to get our stud book going. We cannot say we are chipping horses, microchipping horses, without getting a stud book which is internationally recognized. We're not going anywhere. Who is in charge? The racing authority? Which racing authority? Private Racing Commission? How is it? What is the legal part of it? I think some legal thing have to be established. This is where the government come in, getting this thing through the Animal Act or something where it becomes law. That horses serve, you have to get stud returns, mare returns, live foal barn, all these registration and records have to be kept. Then you chip. If you want to help to do something, you could only chip horses being weanling and prepare for the next 2 years to come. In the meantime, you start getting the books up in order or things like that. These horses were chipped. Like for example, there are some horses chipped the father dead 3 years ago. Plus, some of the horses yearling and 2 years old. Right? They give you wrong information. Right? Are they doing DNA to verify? Where's the stallion? Where's the mare to verify that this is it with the chipping? All these things are not happening. So it's cowboy, you're going back still to cowboy system. Rules that we work with is the Demar Turf Club rules. And the Demar Turf Club rules say, no young kids can go to C3. Week, then the rule, get them till to E3. Train that horse that come in as F class, and they go run up to G3, they could drop down up to. They're there till at H. Our local bred horse used to start in I3, and they say who in the bloodline, and all kind of things to start somewhere down in G. Now you're still getting them start in G. By the time they win, they had to go and reach them training yards in H3. Something's right. If you move the Yankee horse 6 subclass down, you move the training 6 subclass, the Chinese has been a J class, J3. Why they can't go down to L? Why they can't move up and down the band as the training and the American horse could move up and down the band? Who authorized these classifiers them, or these so-called classifiers? To tell you must run out 2 races to go down to L class or what it is. L is just a number. Let's go by ratings, let's rate the horses by ratings and move them down the band by ratings. The whole world gone by ratings. That's what I mean? And that's the most fair way to go. Nobody listens. They turn and they say, Colin Elcock fighting you down. Colin doing this. Right? I am not doing. I love racing. I invest millions of dollars into it. So why should I want to mash up something that I invest?
He cannot implement rules for the racing fraternity as such. He can introduce certain guidelines, but the clubs will have to go, what are the rules of the Guyana Horse Racing Authority? I know the Guyana Horse Racing Authority has been functioning, but there have been rules which have been formulated, I think, in 1992, when Dr. Hanneman was present, and the rules are quite adequate. We have to comply with that. But no individual can, at any race meeting, formulate their own rules which will only be relevant to their turf club. It can't happen like that. You must have an umbrella body dictating what is taking place.
Yeah, quite a mouthful there. A lot to digest. It's from the key players in the racing fraternity. I mean, everybody is entitled to their views. But at the end of the day, it must be a win-win situation for all, and the only winners at the end of it must be the king of sport, horse racing. A quick commercial break. When we come back, we're going to continue our chat with you on Inside the Track. The number is 337-1970, 337-1970. We bring you all the details you need to know about horse racing in Guyana right here, so stay tuned.
It's the Guyana Cup rematch on Sunday, December 31st at the Rising Sun Turf Club. Over $6 million in cash and prizes will be up for grabs. The feature event, a clash for the ages, and will bring together the C-class and lower horses for a purse of $1.2 million. The 2-year-old Guyana-bred horses will be the co-feature, with the top thoroughbred horses battling for $350,000. E-class horses will run for a purse of $600,000. The H-class horses will run for a purse of $400,000, in which the JK and L horses will all compete for the lucrative prizes. It's the Guyana Cup rematch on All Year's Day at the Rising Sun Turf Club.
Powered by Banks Bear. Come out and have fun in Banks Country.
It's the Guyana Cup rematch on Sunday, December 31st at the Rising Sun Turf Club. Over $6 million in cash and prizes will be up for grabs. The feature event, a clash for the ages, and will bring together the C-class and lower horses for a purse of $1.2 million. The 2-year-old Guyana-bred horses will be the co-feature, with the top thoroughbred horses battling for $350,000. E-class horses will run for a purse of $600,000. The H-class horses will run for a purse of $400,000, in which the JK and L horses will all compete for the lucrative prizes. It's the Guyana Cup rematch on All Year's Day at the Rising Sun Turf Club.
Powered by Banks Bear. Come out and have fun in Banks.
We're back with you on Inside the Track, talking horse racing. We're looking at ways and means how we can develop the sport. Before we go to commercial break, the phone was ringing. Now we're back. We will take your calls. All you have to do is call 337-1970, 337-1970. Remember, we're looking at ways how we can improve. We said come next year we need to start putting our house in order. You heard from former president of the Guyana Racing Authority, Justice Cecil Kennard. He spoke about the importance of classification. He also talked about implementing guidelines, and track owners, trainers, groom, everybody following suit with these guidelines. Dr. Shifoon talked about growing our own breeding industry here. That is another good point. Now, you out there, we know from time to time when persons go to racing, they feel that they are shortchanged. Persons on the track, the bedding boys, all of these things. I mean, we need to curb as much of our bad habits as possible. A case in point was the feature event on Sunday at the Nampasol racetrack. That was an exciting race. You had Richie Poo, Thoroughbred, Brave Sky, Golden Blue Echo on the floor. All of these horses. Track clear. Police cleared the track before everything was built. Prior to that feature event, the track was clear. Clear, the police did an exceptional job. People cooperated. But at the point when the feature event started, there was when everybody just get rebellious and disheartened. Can we continue those practices? Should we continue those practices? Come on, people. We need to improve. We need to improve in every way. And don't let somebody who is viewing us from the outside gotta be telling us, look, y'all encroaching on the track. Y'all lack discipline. You're saying that race starting at 11 o'clock, you're starting 1 o'clock, you ain't got time. You're giving people value for their money, people coming from far, all of these things. These are kinks in the system, but they are minor things that can be easily resolved. And as I said before, the numbers at the bottom right of the screen. Feel free to call us, the Sport of Kings. But enough of me talking while we prepare to take your calls. The feature event last Sunday. I know a lot of people will want to see this race. A lot of people are glued to television to view this race. Lots of excitement. Thoroughbred storm into the finish line. Take a look.
Number 1, Wild Excitement, Agile Rides, 119 pounds. Number 2, Richipoo, White Japal, 112. Number 3, Brave Sky, Blake's Rides, 117. Number 4, Appealing Harvest, Richmond Rides, 110. Number 5, Golden Blue Echo, Paul Delft Rides here, 117. Number 6, Challenger Rides, 116. And number 8, Thoroughbred, 112 pounds. So,
Stormboard was presented on the stand rail, and Stormboard by name and by nature inside the final 50 meters are there. She picked up magnificently, and at the end she came away to win it in decisive fashion.
Yeah, we're back with you. Remember, you're tuned to Inside the Track, weekly program. Calling you live. Good evening. Good evening. Hello? Hello? Yeah, remember the number at the bottom right of the screen. Tell us how can we improve horse racing in Guyana. And remember, this program is geared to forward your ideas and also the plans of the racing committee to further develop the sport of kings in Guyana. 337-1970, 337-1970, that's the number to call. Remember, Inside the Track, weekly on NTN. And we're looking at ways to develop the sport, how horse racing committee can improve the sport. We're talking about stud owners receiving incentive. We're also talking about having people off the track during racing. We're also looking at ways that all the tracks can actually buy in to some guidelines put out by the Thoroughbred Racing Committee. And as long as all of these different tracks across the country buy into that, you know that horse racing will be moving in some direction. You heard earlier from some of the leading persons in the sport of kings talking about some basic things, record keeping. That is lacking. That is an area that this committee is working to improve on. They also talk about breeding of horses. And speaking about breeding of horse, there is a classic on the 28th of January for locally bred horses. It's like a Guyana Derby. That is going to be a thing of beauty, and you need to go down and support. Also on December 31st, as you see the advertisement a short while ago, Guyana Cup rematch. Everybody, I know everybody is anxiously waiting to see the third part of the clash between Just Call Me Boss and various. Finally, that is something to pay attention to. Can Boss overcome Vegas on December 31st? Let's wait and see. And also we go racing on Boxing Day at the Kenaz Memorial Turf Club. You know, that's an annual feature and it's been there for quite a while. So we need to come out and support. But enough of me talking, let's go to another race. And then we come back, we wrap things up on this edition of Inside the Track.
Number 1 is a doubtful runner. Horse number 2, and that's 7 Dust, written by C. Ross, 122 pounds. Number 2, 7 Dust, Ross takes charge, 122 pounds. Horse number 3, Miss Olympic, written by Blake, 119 pounds. Number 3, Miss Olympic, Blake takes charge with 119 pounds. Number 4 is a doubtful runner. Horse number 5, Governor Grongal. Written by W. Apadou, 119 pounds. Correction, please. It has been just brought to my attention that horse number 4 is a runner, a starter, written by Ardra Paul. So take note, horse number 4 is a starter, jockey Ardra Paul. Horse number 6 seems to be a doubtful runner. Number 7, Natural Beauty, written by Julius, 115 pounds. Number 7, Natural Beauty, Julius takes charge, 115 pounds. Horse number 8, Genuine Risk, written by Ajay, 122 pounds. Number 8, Genuine Risk, Ajay takes charge, 122 pounds. Horse number 9, Fresh Dancer, written by P. Delph, 119 pounds. Number 9, Fresh Dancer, P. Delph takes charge, 119 pounds. Number 10 seems to be a doubtful runner. Horse number 11, King Stanley, written by Richmond, 122 pounds. Number 11, King Stanley, Richmond takes charge. Yes. Let them go. As they are racing past the stands for the first time, let's see who wants to dictate. And straight into lead, it seems to be 7 Dust. It's 7 Dust from King Stanley. And then comes Miss Olympic as they are going around the first turn. And it is 7 Dust who has the call. Then comes Miss Olympic. Back of them comes King Stanley. Behind King Stanley there, it seems to be Genuine Risk. Back of Genuine Risk is Fresh Dancer. Now they are going up the back stretch of the course at a very sedate pace. And it is still on a tight hole. It's 7 Dust. Who 7 Dust who leads? Back on the heels there seems to be Miss Olympic. And it is still 7 Dust now from Miss Olympic, and Governor Grongal is also coming. Somebody has been broken down. The boy, it seems that though the boy and King Stanley, something seems to be gone amiss. But it is back to the front runner, and it is 7 Dust who has the call. And 7 Dust who now lengthens and goes 2 lengths clear. 7 Dust is going some 3 lengths clear. Barn to Dance is trying to give chase. They are now going to angle down the home turn. Yes, somebody has been falling, and it is still, it's 7 Dust in a dusty condition this afternoon. By name and by nature, 7 Dust is pouring it on. It seems to be no stopping. Somebody's coming very, very fast indeed, but 7 Dust seems to have it. 7 Dust wins and wins well. Fresh Dancer run a marvelous race to finish second. The winner went to horse number 2, that's 7 Dust, from the Rising Sun stable, written by C. Ross. Second position went to horse number 9, the fast finishing Fresh Dancer, from the CP Racing stable, written by P. Delph. Third finisher went to horse number 3, and that's Miss Olympic.
And the both talk about their all-balls in the flame. Yeah, C. Ross.
Well, I knew he was going to beat him. He's an honest horse, and I expected him to win today, honestly. He's at home. He beat them the last time they raced at Port Moran, and he always gave you 100%.
Right. You see some impressive work being done by you in terms of preparation of the track and facilities in place for the guy to come. Walk me through that process.
Well, you know, since I took over the mantle, I've been trying every meeting to upgrade, because I want to be the best. And to be the best, you got to be working hard. So I continue along that line because I understand that Mr. Mohammed, Jumbo Jet Jr. and Senior wants to pull off a few more promotions before the year is over. So we got more work done. So expect more when you come next meeting.
Yeah, that was some race with 7 Dust there. Caller, good night.
Hello, good night.
Good night.
Good evening to you.
You want to contribute to the program?
Yeah.
All right, go right here. Let me hear you.
Horses in the main event, like 3-year final. Most of the time you find horse like that beat horse on the left-hand track. So why do they bring it on the right-hand track with bigger, better, open, more speed?
We're talking about Port Moran?
Port Moran and Bushland.
Port Moran and Bushland?
Yeah. Why they always keep back the big horse them for the left-hand track?
Alright. Tell me something now. You sound like a big horse racing fan. Tell me, how can we improve the sport?
I can improve it by putting more of the horses like the foreign breed them into the race, instead put them in the next races to the kind of bred horse.
Okay. And do you believe that the local horse racing fraternity can do more to improve the sport?
Yeah, they can do more. They can do more to improve the sport. Yeah. One point I can't get clear. Why most of the time they have race Sunday after Sunday, Sunday after Sunday?
Well, I can't answer that, but I know it's the end of the year, and as all the dates would be set earlier, that may be because that you have it week in and week out.
No, you can't have races Sunday after Sunday after Sunday.
But that only happened for this month of December, though, you know.
I didn't hear you.
It only happened for the month of December.
Okay.
And then you know you can get a long break, because you will get the next race until sometime in January 28th or so.
Yeah, that's say it, but after, if you have to keep a race this week and next week, you can't get hard them to perform they do the rig before.
I understand. All of that will be taken into consideration. Thanks for coming, Jim. Yeah, inside the track 337 1970. We're almost out of time. We want to thank you so much for the opportunity to allowing us into your homes. And do join us again next Thursday for another edition of Inside the Track. I'm Royston, bidding you well and have a wonderful weekend.
It's the Guyana Cup rematch on Sunday, December 31st at the Rising Sun Turf Club. Over $6 million in cash and prizes will be up for grabs. The feature event, a clash for the ages, and will bring together the C-class and lower horses for a purse of $1.2 million. The 2-year-old Guyana-bred horses will be the co-feature, with the top thoroughbred horses battling for $350,000. E-class horses will run for a purse of $600,000. The H-class horses will run for a purse of $400,000, in which the J, K, and L horses will all compete for the lucrative prizes. It's the Guyana Cup rematch on All Year's Day at the Rising Sun Turf Club.
Powered by Banks Bear. Come out and have fun in Banks Country.